I want to talk to you guys a little bit about probably my favorite subject. Um, I have devoted my life to understanding this, to getting deeper with it, to really working with it on an energetic level. So that's why I decided to make this video because I want to raise awareness around it, talk about it, share it if it inspires you. And that is building awareness around the impact you have, impact awareness. Okay. I personally have devoted my life to understanding my own impact on the people around me, my own impact on myself, my circumstances. And, that is a huge part of doing energy work. I've devoted my life to understanding energy on a quantum and metaphysical level. But you can only go so far with that understanding if you don't understand your impact first. So, when we start to look at the world around us, how people respond to us, how events and outcomes and circumstances respond to us, that's going to be constant cueing, constant signaling for us to understand the impact we have, if at all. Now, in order to truly make the impact you want to have and either create a lasting impression or simply feeling in touch, right? If we're not aware of the impact that we have on others, we're out of touch. That just makes us out of touch with others, out of touch with reality. But when we start to build that awareness through grounding our energy, through true actual presence, that starts to curate an impact. But it's not about the kind of outcome that you want. It's not about the type of impression you want to make. What really determines the way we impact others and what that highlights in them is our inner posture. Now, I want to bring your awareness to this because I think for so many people that come to me and book sessions with me because they're lost or they don't know their purpose or they feel off track or whatever it is, typically it's because we're not paying attention to our inner posture and what we're postured with. Are we postured with grace? Are we postured with the power of our own intent, right? Do we even know what we want? Do we know the outcome we want? Do we know the impact we want to have? Yeah, if you do, if you know that you want to have an impact of grace or joy, if you want to impact others that way, you must be postured with it first. So what I mean with this is, what you're postured with on the inside determines the impact you have. But it's not just about what you want, what you're seeking, what you're trying to get, but rather what do you become a vessel for? What are you allowing to live through you? And, you have to understand it in a way that this is what you're creating space for. You're creating space for this experience to come alive through you, right? The experience of grace, inspiration, joy, ambition, whatever it is. You start to look at what you're postured with. Are you postured with anger, frustration, the past? Ew. Are you postured with hope, excitement, joy? And then you begin to align to that. You begin to hold yourself upright in that integrity. So now, before you connect, before you reach out, before you take action in your life and start to, go about your daily routines and do your things and meet with your people and whatever it is, before all of that, drop into yourself for a moment and connect to your inner posture. Pay attention. What are you postured with today? Are you postured with anxiety? Are you postured with fear? Because when you start to put awareness to that, you begin to build spaciousness in and through yourself, in and through your body, in and through your auric field. And that's palpable. I'm telling you, that is palpable. That is when you start to be around people that you know and you think and you feel, oh my gosh, I don't know why, but they feel so good to be around, right? That's the impact we want to have. We want to highlight the best in one another, but it starts with awareness of your inner posture and what's going on there. Now, an important piece to this and understanding where you're at with your inner posture is we want to define our values. Now, this sounds very generic, sounds very cliche, but most of us don't actually take the time to do this. And when we go through different seasons of life, our values change. The things that I valued highly 5 years ago wouldn't even make my list today. Okay. So take some time, list out what you value, non negotiables. It's not negotiable. I value this so much, it's got to be in my life every day. And then in the next section, you're going to write down and ask yourself, do I act like it? I say I value my health. Do I act like it? So now we're measuring coherence, we're measuring true integrity so that you can actually see what you're postured with and why you might be feeling lost or off track or just not like yourself. So again, this is the foundation of your impact. Now, one more thing I want to mention here as I'm talking about becoming aware of your inner posture and what you're postured with. If you are postured with your values, not your beliefs, but your values. If you're, I value peace, I value harmony, I value grace. So I don't tolerate things that go against the nature of that. Okay. So for example, I work with a lot of people that are postured with protection. They feel like they have to protect their energy, guard themselves, and so on. What happens is that causes misalignment internally. It's draining energetically, and we live our life, on the defense. But when we begin to posture ourselves in our true nature with what we value, not what we're trying to avoid, then everything begins to fall into place and life seems to flow again. So pay attention to what you're holding in here. So another example would be, I value clarity. Clarity in my life brings peace, brings harmony. So I'm going to make decisions that foster that. And I do not allow in my life, I have, zero tolerance. I do not allow things in my life that muddle up my clarity. Things that create chaos, confusion, distortion, uncertainty. None of that energy is aligned with what I'm aligned to. So this is where you have to practice commitment and diligence. And it should feel easy though. It should feel like just being in your true nature, and it becomes like second nature to say yes or no to something because you're so well aware of what you're postured with. And that's the impact you want to have in the world, but also what you allow to impact you. Okay. This is also so important to remember. So when we become aware of what we're postured with on the inside and the impact we have, the richness in that comes when we begin to understand that that can disarm somebody. That can disarm them from being in a state of protection, of guardedness, of shyness. It can disarm them from their anxiety or what have you, naturally though, not forcefully, not because you have some sort of belief system that you're imposing in their space. But when you are postured with integrity, notice and feel the calmness that comes with that. And the goal is enlightenment causes enlightenment, okay? It's an expandable, shareable effect. And when we can uphold that and embody that, it will naturally begin to occur in others around us. So that's why awareness of your impact is so key. Now, once you've done the work, and this shouldn't feel like heavy lifting, it should feel like just sinking deeper into your skin and getting cozy within yourself, okay? But once you've done the work to understand what you're postured with, this is when it gets fun, because now you're truly working from an energetic level. Okay, this is where it gets fun because you start to see your own ability to create your life, to create the experiences that you want to have, the experiences that you're postured with, that you're aligned to. Okay, and your whole outlook changes. Also, your intent and what you're pointing your energy towards will shift based on, again, that inner posture and the intent behind your impact. Now you start to have an impact that's much more magnetic and that's lasting. It's memorable. Okay, so when you start to pay attention to your inner posture, and what you're holding space for and the values that you're postured with, that starts to become something that you silently articulate to others. It starts to become something that you silently share and express through your value, as well as honoring. It's a way of honoring yourself too, and honoring that quality in others. So that becomes the lasting and memorable piece, to the impact and how you impact others. So I hope that sharing this little piece has brought you into a place where you can go a little bit deeper, reflect on your inner posture, what you're carrying daily, and make sure that it's aligned with the experience you want to have in your life and the experience you want to have with others. All right. See you soon.